I don't have time is so much easier to say because you don't take any ownership or accountability. And in the spirit of a 200% marriage, it's all about taking 100% responsibility. So if you take 100% responsibility for how you're spending your time, that means you're doing it based on what you prioritize and what you value. You own your time and what you do with it. And you make those choices. The words you use when they reflect those choices, it makes those choices more obvious to you. Because sometimes we just float through life and we say, I don't have time, and we're not even aware that we're making the choice. We feel like someone else is making that choice, but we're always making that choice. You own it when you say, you're not my priority.
You've built the business, you're crushing it in your career, you've scaled your impact, but are you winning at home?
Welcome to the 200% Marriage Podcast. We're Meredith and Craig, and we're here to help you kill that domestic drag and turn your partner into your most elite teammate.
From Russian taxi mishaps to hailstorms on the summit, we're sharing the raw and real stories and tactical drills you need to move out of roommateville and into your 200% life.
So grab your gear. It's time to build an unstoppable team. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to another episode of the 200% Marriage Podcast with Meredith and Craig. We have been reading our book on this podcast, and we are on chapter 27. If you're following along, we're each reading the chapters that we wrote. And I happen to write chapter 27, so I will also read chapter 27 of the 200% Marriage, your winning playbook to be an unstoppable team.
Let's settle in.
Chapter 27. It's a great title, by the way. Chapter 27. Squirrels, Hemorrhoids, and Other Marriage Glue. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Michael Altshuler. One of the biggest challenges we hear from clients when we talk about the importance of having fun in their marriage is time. I just don't have enough time. How will I ever find the time? I barely have enough time to eat or even go to the bathroom. If you're looking for time, you'll never find it. That's not how time works. You have to create time. Imagine this. You're at home on your computer, working hard to keep your business running smoothly. Over comes your beautiful little girl, tugging at your sleeves and asking you to play with her. You're really busy, so you say, "Not right now, sweetie. Dad doesn't have time. I have some work to finish. How about we play later?" Except later comes and work piles on. So you choose that same answer again. Eventually, she stops asking because she already knows the answer will be no. Now imagine instead of saying, "I don't have time," you had said, "You're not my priority." Still just 4 words, but they hit different, don't they? It hurts to say, but it's the truth. She's not your priority. You prioritized your work. What if instead you just played with her for 15 minutes? You'd make her smile, you'd recharge your own battery, and you'd come back to work with more energy and a better mood. You'd probably end up getting more work done after that 15-minute break anyway. You just created time. That's the mindset we need to bring into marriage, and honestly into all the most essential parts of our life. But since this is a marriage book, let's keep the focus here. You need to intentionally make time for fun and adventure with your teammate. If you want to find it, you never will. And creating time doesn't mean carving out 4 hours for a fancy date night, though by all means do that when you can. What we're talking about here is just a few minutes. Do you think it takes long to hide a cardboard penis? Laugh when it's discovered and then re-hide it? It literally takes 5 minutes, maybe even less. How long does it take to grab your teammate by the hips and dance in the kitchen to your favorite song? Less than 5 minutes. The message here, if you're not picking up on our subtlety, is this. Connecting through fun and laughter can happen in small, bite-sized chunks of time. One of the best ways to weave laughter and fun into everyday life in bite-sized chunks is by having little inside jokes. We've already covered our hide the penis game. Another fun one in our house is something I like to call McKayisms. McKay, as you've probably noticed from the front cover, is Mare's last name. From the moment we met, I started calling her McKay. Don't ask me why, I just did. In return, she started calling me Bennett. It just stuck. Some people find it odd that we're married with different last names. When they find out those last names are how we refer to each other, their brains almost explode. My grandmother even calls her McKay. She's 88, actually 89 now, and an absolute spitfire. My mom tried it for a while, but you could tell it felt weird for her, so she defaulted to Mare. Not quite as cool as my grandmother. Hi, Nan and Mom. Love you. Anyway, back to the McKayisms. A McKayism is a word-for-word quote of something Mare says, recorded with absolutely zero context. I also record it on the DL. That's how the hip kids say down low, like in secret. She almost never knows when I've recorded one. I do this because, well, Meredith says some weird shit, and that weird shit needs to be captured for posterity. Honestly, one day I might publish a whole book of them. In the meantime, here are 33 real McKayisms with my own personal commentary so you can understand what we're working with. I can see how you could teeter on pyromania. Don't worry, I've monitored her, no pyro tendencies since that one time. Phew. I would not get in an elevator with a chicken. She's not usually such a party pooper, but she does have a thing about birds. Crows are the bullies of the forest. That thing with the birds I was talking about? Also, I'm not convinced she's wrong on this one. FYI, the balls don't go in. I have to learn somehow. At least she's a willing teacher. If you wanted me to eat bananas, you should have called it out in our vows. We buy bananas constantly. She says she likes them. There's a very specific 3-hour window in a banana's ripeness when she might eat one. I carry the banana burden in this house. Thankfully, I have strong shoulders. I don't need any added stress in my life right now. I'm dealing with a hemorrhoid. A trying time for all involved. We persevered. Current status, hemorrhoid free since 2023. Muffins are the hugs of the baked goods world. Weirdly, I see how she got there. I was reading Gone with the Wind on the toilet for like a month. I really missed her for that month. You don't have a good side as far as I'm concerned. Pretty sure this was aimed at me. I choose to believe she meant all my sides are good. I have a little poop in me. She's not often full of shit. She was this day until she wasn't. Dainty sneezes are for chumps. I want a really orgasmic style sneeze. She's a go big or go home kind of gal. One of the many things I love about her. Your timing, as usual, is the shits. Again, this was definitely directed at me. Agree to disagree, my timing is impeccable. I'm just trying to stay ahead of my uterus here. Respect. Either you control your uterus or your uterus controls you. Am I right, ladies? Use your words. Your body language is pissing me off. Marriage Communication 101. This is how you communicate in a successful marriage, my friend. Squirrels are just rats with better PR. Astute observation, and I don't think she's wrong. I don't like to put my clean body back where my dirty body just was. Fair enough, who does? He's dead to me now. No, he wishes he was dead to me now. I believe her. I'm not sure who she's referring to, but I occasionally pray for them. There's nowhere you can be in here right now and not hear me. I can always hear her. Everywhere, all the time. I don't think I have a true appreciation for how long it takes to dig somebody's grave. Best not to ask, honestly. Your routines are what kill you when a hitman is after you. Again, best not to ask. Also, she's 100% correct. I can't wait to have haters. If you do big things, the haters come out. Embrace the hate. I have more fun when I do the whooping. Can confirm. How does making you look worse make me look better? It doesn't. In fact, the opposite's true. I knew I was having that conversation all by myself. Likely me, likely not the first time she said it, likely not the last time she will say it. Do we talk about poop more than others? I can't say for sure, but I lean yes. I think I have an average butt crack. Cannot confirm. There isn't an average bone in or crack on her body. Twerking hurts my knees. Welcome to life over 40, but at least we're still twerking. I had my first great snot rocket on my run today. Proud moment. We celebrate it. May this be your reminder to celebrate all the milestones in life. I could go for some flow. I'm sick of the ebb. I'm with her. It's all about balance. Why would you ever think it was a good idea to not let me in on what you were doing? She's not wrong. Everything is better when she's involved. I can't determine if I've exhausted all my options or if I'm just quitting. Knowing her, all options were exhausted. I just cut my fingernail on my nipple. Didn't love it. Understandable. Sounds unpleasant. Hey, check out what I just tried to Google. I really wish I remembered. Could have been anything. Reminder, have a buddy who will clear your search history if you die. Now and then, when I record a McKayism, we'll take a few minutes to read the last few and laugh together. Sometimes we can remember where we were or what we were doing, but as time passes, that little bit of context fades. That was the case with many of these. We had no clue where we were or what we were doing, but we had a lot of laughs writing this chapter. It only takes a few short minutes, but those moments of shared laughter make our entire day better. Because that's exactly the point. Shared laughs become shared memories, and those deepen your bond. If you look at the best teams, they all have a certain camaraderie. They have a job to do, but they also have a lot of fun together. They bond. If you watch LeBron James on the basketball court, you can tell he loves what he does. He is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He knows he has a job to do, but he still takes the time with each of his teammates to enjoy the moment. Before every game, he's laughing and joking, and he has a secret handshake with every one of them. And it's unique to their relationship. He doesn't have the same secret handshake with all of his teammates. It's a different handshake with every single teammate. And he has played for a long time. It's wild to think how many secret handshakes he's had to memorize over the years. The good news for you is that you only need to remember one. The one you create with your teammate. Yes, we want you to take a page out of LeBron James' playbook and create a secret handshake with your teammate. This will be your go-to move when you celebrate. Something you typically high-five or fist bump now becomes your celebratory secret handshake. I'm 100% serious. The act of creating the handshake is fun. It creates laughter and good memories. The act of using the secret handshake deepens your bond. It's your thing, meant just for the two of you. It means something. Sure, have one with your kids too. Make it unique to them. It'll deepen your bond with each other. But keep the handshake you make with your teammate just for the two of you. If you want to see mine with Meredith for inspiration, check it out in the resources section at the back of this book. If you need more inspiration, Google LeBron James secret handshakes and watch some of those videos. Create your marriage secret handshake with your teammate. Make it fun, make it meaningful, then practice it until it's smooth like butter. Then bust it out every chance you get. One of you wins a game night, boom, marriage handshake. One of you crushes it at work, boom, marriage handshake. One of you nails lemon meringue pie, boom, marriage handshake. You tag team dinner, wrangle the Rugrats, and create us time, boom, marriage handshake. Fun and laughter aren't optional or extras. They're critical, and they don't demand hours. They happen in the little moments you intentionally create. But don't forget, while most of life is made of small moments, there's still a time and a place for the big adventures. The road trips that take you off the beaten path. The trips to a far-off country you've always wanted to explore. Those matter too. Think back to when you first dated. You planned adventures, carved out time, and made memories. Why stop? Let's bring it back.
Boom.
Chapter 27 in the book. So we hinted at the end of the chapter that we're going to jump into some bigger adventures in the next chapter. So stay tuned next week for that.
What's the title of the next chapter?
The ABDs of marriage.
Oh.
Fun, fun, fun. The ABDs of marriage. That's not a typo. We're not that dumb. We're not illiterate. We know that C comes after B.
Nor are we not attention to detail, detail-oriented.
There's a lot of intention behind it. So anyway, ABDs of marriage is coming next week. But let's chat about this chapter, McKayisms. It's one of my favorite things that we do.
This is one of my favorite chapters in the book because I love the McKayisms.
McKayisms is, and maybe I'll share a couple of recent ones.
Oh, that I haven't heard yet?
Yeah, we'll do it live. McKayisms is one of my favorite things that we do for a laugh every now and then.
What prompted? We've never discussed this. When did you start? Why did you start? How did it start?
You said some weird shit early days, and I just was.
I'm gonna write that down.
I'm just gonna start capturing some of this stuff. Every now and then you'd say something, and I'd be like, interesting, okay, whatever. And then
I wonder how many weird things I said before you were like, I should start writing this shit down.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even know what the first one is. And this might be a really dangerous game.
Oh, this is a dangerous game. Let's roll with it. We're on an adventure.
I gotta go back into the archives to find the old. The first one. The first one is I dropped my teeth in the onions. That's the first McKayism. Ooh.
I can see why you wrote that one down.
I dropped my teeth in the onions. I don't know. It was a long time ago. I have no idea. Huh. The second one, I'm just 360 degrees of pain. Pain all around. She's just pain. Whether she was in pain or she was doling out pain, we don't know because there's no context. And it was a long time ago. But she's 360 degrees of pain, and I can confirm. Don't mess with her, or you'll be 360 degrees of pain. And that's how that works. And that's the bottom line, because Meredith McKay said so. Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestling reference. For those of you who are a 90s kid who watch wrestling.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
Number 3, we'll go until there's one that's super inappropriate because there are some of those that we just can't share. But this one, nice tights. Where's your bell? Who's she talking to? Who would know? Nice tights. Where's your bell?
I don't know.
Tinkerbell. Who would know? Nice tights. Where's your bell? That came out of her mouth. Getting a tie. That's a win. This is an all-time favorite, actually.
We reference this one a
all the
lot.
time. Getting a tie. That's a win. Literally not. It's a tie, not a win. But getting a tie, that's a win.
We do reference this one a lot.
It makes sense in no aspects, but getting a tie, that's a win.
You know what? It does make sense in some aspects.
Sure. Let's go there. Let's have that debate now. Getting a tie, that's a win. No, getting a tie is a tie. Getting a win, that's a win. But in McKay's logic, getting a tie, that's a win.
Well, you know, a game that you're not supposed to win, that you're not even supposed to tie, you're supposed to lose that game, and you end up drawing.
This is a borderline inappropriate one, but I'm doing it anyway. This is the 5th one I ever recorded. Fuck you. One less of you is no skin off my ass. I think that was probably a fly if I had to guess.
Oh, most likely.
Fuck you. One less of you, no skin off my ass. Anyway, she got a little aggressive there.
You know, the getting a tie, that's a win. That's one we use on the regular. One that you mentioned in the book that we use all the time, too. It still gets referenced all the
Got a
time.
little poop in me. Got a little poop in me.
But you say that one a lot.
Well, when I got to go to the bathroom, you know what? I got a little poop in me. That's not so code for, I'm going to go to the bathroom now and poop. So anyway, maybe I will pull this out. And hear. Those were the oldest ones on record. Maybe I'll share some of the newest ones on record in a minute after we talk a little bit more.
Let's do that. So going back to the beginning of the chapter, those only 4 words, that I don't have time versus you're not my priority.
Tell me it was 4 and 4.
4 and 4.
Tell me I didn't mess that up.
Yeah, no, we did good attention to detail there. 4 words,
Yeah.
but completely changes the vibe of what you've said.
Yeah.
And they mean the same thing. Just I don't have time is so much easier to say because you don't take any ownership or accountability. And in the spirit of a 200% marriage, it's all about taking 100% responsibility. So if you take 100% responsibility for how you're spending your time, that means you're doing it based on what you prioritize and what you value.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get some certain things are time sensitive and some things are important and need to get done, but you make those decisions. You own your time and what you do with it. And you make those choices.
Yeah.
And so the words you use when they reflect those choices, it makes those choices more obvious to you. Because sometimes we just float. We just float through life and we say, I don't have time. And we're not even aware that we're making the choice. We feel like someone else is making that choice. But we're always making that choice. So when you own it, when you say, you're not my priority, then you actually have to own that.
It hits different
It's
when
so
you have
different.
to tell your nephew. So they come over here all the time asking me to play baseball, soccer, hockey, football,
Whatever.
Name it.
Whatever
Tiddlywinks.
season.
Everything under the sun they want to play, and they come over and they ask. And a lot of times I'm in the middle of something. And it's really easy to just say, sorry, dude, I don't have time right now. But most of the time, there are times where I legitimately, I cannot make that choice. Yeah. I cannot make that choice. I have to make a different choice. But most of the time, when they ask, because I know that they're only this age for so long, I only get this opportunity, very short window, to be able to do this with them. So when they do come over, because there's going to be a day when they don't come over anymore and ask me to do this stuff. And so when they do, now I do my very best to be like, yeah, I'm going to do that, because it's really hard to say to them, no, I'm going to choose work over you. No, I'm going to choose to do, and I don't even want to. I'd much rather go play baseball with them than sit here and write copy or do a podcast or whatever. As much as I love doing podcasts, I just love playing baseball with the kids. And so it's really hard when you have to look a 7-year-old in the eye and say, yeah, sorry, Jake, you're not a priority to me right now, versus,
Yeah, give me 20 minutes, I'll be right down.
yeah, exactly. And so it's just easier to be like, okay, let me wrap up what I'm doing, get it to a place where it's an easy break, and then I'll come down and
I'll be down in 10.
I'll
and
be
we'll start
down in
playing.
15 minutes and we'll start cracking
And
balls.
they, especially Nate, will watch that clock. And if you are not there at 15-minute mark,
They're calling or they're back. You said 15.
It's been
It's been
16.
17 now. Where are you? You're 2 minutes late. Sorry, buddy. I got caught up. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Nope. You're coming with me now. I will wait.
I also, I love the forced ownership by just changing the words you use, because language is so powerful and so important. So if you can just change those words,
Yep.
it will actually force you to align your behavior with what you say you prioritize. So it just makes you do what you say you're going to do. So I love that. The other thing I wanted to call out in this chapter is the successful teams. to your point in the book, successful teams have this certain camaraderie, this connection, this bond. And what came to my mind when you were reading it was the Toronto Blue Jays last year.
25.
The 2025 Blue Jays went to the World Series against the Dodgers.
Should have won. Absolutely got robbed. I don't care. You're a Dodgers fan. You
Right?
Gift. Absolute gift.
Ball was not lodged. I don't care what you say.
Lodged ball. Anyway, nonsense.
Bullshit.
Blue Jays should have won that.
Anyway.
We're over it, obviously.
Obviously. Anyone who's ever talked about that team, coaches, managers, players, like broadcasters, literally anyone who's interviewed that team can clearly see that that team had something very special. They played for each other. They did not play for the World Series. They did not play for any personal milestones. They literally were having a hell of a time. They were having so much fun, and they were playing for each other. The vibe of that team.
It was a very close locker room.
It was a very close. So it just made me think of them because they were a very successful team who, in my mind, won the World Series. And I know the rest of the history books will not reflect that, but they were a very successful team. They were successful beyond expectation last year, and no one can argue that.
They were within an inch of a World Series. They didn't get it, but they were within an inch of it.
So they were, by most measures, a very successful team,
Yep.
and are a great example of also a team that built on fun and camaraderie and connection and bond, and they surpassed all expectations.
Yeah. And then I'm not actually, look, I don't want to get into that debate. I'm not LeBron James. I don't think LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. I think he's had the greatest career of all time. I think he's one of the top 3 probably of all time, but you could debate it. You can go back and forth, but you cannot.
Depends on what you prioritize.
You cannot say he hasn't been a successful basketball player either way, whether he's the greatest of all time or not. He is an absolute legend of the game. He's successful by any metric he's got his haters. I'm not one of them. I think he's had an outstanding career. He's now breaking the record for the most games ever played, most seasons ever played. And he's had so much fun. He's doing it at a high level. He shows up every day. He commits. Look at at 40, whatever he is now, 42 or whatever. He's not obviously at the peak of his own powers, but he's one of the top players in the league still. 25 years in, 42 years old or whatever it is, and still playing at the level he is and having fun doing it. And it's because he's able to integrate that fun, and he's won championships. He holds all kinds of records. And he's doing it because he loves the game. He loves his teammates. He loves showing up and putting in the work and having fun while doing it.
Isn't there some crazy stat that LeBron has played with or against over half of the people who've ever played in the NBA?
Yeah, there is a stat like that. I think it's more than half. But anyway, yeah, he's played against or with a certain percentage of the all-time number of players that have played. I think it's over 50%.
That have ever played in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
He's played against or with well over half of them.
I think so. Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
That's wild. Yeah.
And he's got a personalized handshake with basically every teammate, and not even just teammates.
Locker room staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how he remembers all those moves
Yeah.
is certainly impressive.
Yeah. But it just, you can't argue with the level of success he's had. And if you just watch how he's gone about it, it's integrating. You can tell he just loves what he does. Mm-hmm. Nobody is able to do that what
long.
He's done, putting in that level
effort,
intention, but also sacrifice. Mm-hmm. The amount of sacrifice you have to do every year to keep your body in the shape that it needs to be in to withstand that schedule for 25 straight years. And he's been healthy almost his entire career.
How many players younger than him are like load management? Sorry, Kawhi, I'm calling you out. But so many players like manage their load, and I don't feel like he does that even in his 40s. But people pay to see him play, and he respects that.
Yeah. And it's because he's having so much fun. And he's made fun of a non-negotiable for him as he's gone through his career. And you can see it. You just pregame, he's smiling, he's laughing. There's times where he's locked in and he's focused and whatever, but there's always this underlying theme of fun with him.
More so with him than, say, like the other people in that conversation of the greatest of all time, right? Michael Jordan, I'm sure Michael Jordan had a lot of fun when he won championships, for sure. But you didn't see that
Probably the greatest basketball player.
Fun day to day.
But anyway.
Right, yeah. But I don't think Michael's success was predicated on fun.
Oh, no. He was punching teammates in the face.
At practice.
He just had this.
Sorry, Steve Kerr.
He was just the most competitive human being on planet Earth and loved winning. And anyway.
And I also feel like Kobe wasn't as motivated by fun as LeBron is. I think he was more motivated by the challenge of it and the learning and the growth and the evolution of being the best versus the fun he had. And don't get me wrong, I think Michael had fun, and I know them. Kobe had fun. I'm sure they had lots of fun.
Winning is fun. We know that.
But I think LeBron is more motivated by fun than most,
Yeah.
based on my zero interaction with any of them.
So chapter 27 comes to an end. Chapter 28, we're going to talk about the ABDs of marriage. Do we want to hear any
You
of
might
the
as well pull out the last couple. I haven't heard them.
most recent mechanisms? So let's see what we've got for recent ones. I get irritated when I don't get what I want.
Who doesn't?
That's true. Me and electricity like to keep our distance. We don't like to touch each other.
That's fair.
It's probably wise that we all adhere to that. Some of these are just not appropriate. Some of these I can't even say on the internet. I wish I could share this one. It's funny, but it's not appropriate for the kids. 5 year ago version of me would have quit 4 years ago. I think we'll leave it there. That's a great one.
That applies to a lot of things. I'm sure that was in reference to entrepreneurship, probably, but it applies to a lot of things. I have grown as a human in the last 5 years significantly.
Can confirm. On that note, 5 year ago version of me would have quit 4 years ago as well. But we're not quitting. We're moving on to chapter 28 next week, the ABDs of marriage. Stay tuned. We'll see you then. Bye. Look, knowing the strategy is one thing. Executing it in the trenches of daily life is another. If you're ready to stop listening and start doing, we have a challenge for you.
It's the 33-Day Unstoppable Team Challenge. 33 days of micro drills delivered right to your inbox for just $33. It's designed to snap you out of roommateville and get you back into alignment.
Go to the200percentmarriage.com/challenge and take the first step toward your 200% life. Your team is worth the investment.